Hello, welcome to Haunted Honeymooners. This is our first official review of a very a decent haunted house that we went to in Saint Albans, West Virginia, known as Scareview. But before we get into Scareview, a couple of things real quick. Number one, our email address is hauntedhoneymooners@gmail.com. hauntedhoneymooners@gmail.com. That's an email address that I've just became very, very familiar with. If you just watched our last video, I was just given teensy-weensy little bit of shit for not knowing what it was. So, again, for clarity's purpose, for my knowledge, for my information, hauntedhoneymooners@gmail.com is where you can get a hold of us, where you can send us all types of suggestions, crazy places you want us to go to, and everything else like that. And again, to touch base on what our goal is, by September 10th, we are looking for 2,000 followers. Again, 2,000 followers. That happens, I'm gonna go do blackout. You can see the excitement. See how much I want to go do blackout. But I want you guys to send me there. Send me to blackout. All you gotta do, 2,000 people like this page, 2,000 followers. It's nothing. It's nothing. Go do it now. What are you waiting on? Now, go share, like, whatever. Do it. The billboards we were talking about earlier. Still haven't heard nothing about that. Billboards, go buy them. Anyways, we're not here to talk about all that other stuff. We are here to talk about Scareview, located on 109 High Street, Saint Albans, West Virginia, inside the old Fairview Grade Schoolhouse. What happened there? Place burned down. It's pretty bad. Fire. Not good. Not good for an elementary school. Great for a haunted house. Great for a haunted house. Now, this particular haunted house is ran by volunteer firefighters. They do this to bring in money, of course, for the volunteer fire department. So all the proceeds, all the profits go directly back into, I am assuming, the Saint Albans Volunteer Fire Department. Now, 2018 was their 10-year anniversary. 10 years of celebrating horror. And every once in a while, if you hear a little beep go off in the back of this video, that's because our silly fog machine just set off every single smoke alarm in the house. And so we're still dealing with that. So I apologize for that. Just try and ignore that little beep. Pretend it's not there. It's not there. Maybe it's a ghost. Maybe it's a ghost beep. Ghost beep at your house messing with you right now. It's not us. It's you. Turn your beep off. Anyways, 10-year celebration. 10 years anniversary of terror at Scareview. Now, price of admission, $12. $10 if you come in with a canned food product, and it can be any canned food product. You can come in with Spam. They're going to give you $2 off your ticket. Green beans, it's $2 off your ticket. I bet if you brought in a can of dog food, $2 off that ticket. Just a canned product, that's all it says. Now, one drawback for Scareview that I did not like right offhand, there's no Fast Pass. Why is there no Fast Pass? Do you guys not want more money? For us to not have to wait in line? Seems weird to me. But there is no Fast Pass. So regretfully, what that does do is make the lines for Scareview incredibly long. Now, are these haunted attractions worth it? Absolutely. But realistically, if you're not there when Scareview's opening, you could be looking at about 2.5, 3 hours before you get in there. Trish and I, when we went this year, we got there just about as they were starting to let people in. We waited probably an hour and a half before we got in there. Now, while it does create some longer lines, one of the things that Scareview does very, very well, and some of the haunted houses, some of the bigger haunted houses that we're going to talk about earlier or later on during this, haven't figured this out yet. And it was impressive to me that Scareview did. I hate bumping into another group that's in front of you inside of a haunted attraction. It immediately turns everything off. And it kind of makes it feel like, man, now we're just walking behind these people. It takes away from the scares. It makes it harder on the actors to do their job. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to see anybody else in there other than me and my group. And that's it. I want to pretend that it's just us and get lost in that environment. And when you bump into the group in front of you, that environment's gone. Scareview has perfected that. Been there twice. We went once in 2016 and we went back again this year, and in both years I've never ran it into the group in front of me. So awesome job, Scareview. Keep doing things that way, but give us a Fast Pass option. Come on, we'll give you more money to not have to wait in line. Think about it. Now, something else that Scareview doesn't take advantage of, and again, confusing, I can't really wrap my head around it. The only concession stand that we saw the night we were there was kettle corn. And I don't know how many kettle corn fans we have out there. I'm not one in particular. I'm not going to be buying a big bag of kettle corn before I walk into a haunted house. This seems a little ridiculous to me that kettle corn's the only option. So many opportunities with memorabilia, photos, all types of different stuff that you can do with these things to bring in more income other than just the haunted attraction. Feels like a lot of missed opportunities there and not being willing to sell merchandise. And again, we're not, every other haunted attraction we've went to, we've walked away with some type of memorabilia to remember the attraction from. And from Scareview, we ain't got nothing. Nothing from Scareview. Nothing to remember. Nothing to bring back to mind that moment of going there. So, Scareview, if you're listening, guys, give us some merchandise to buy. We'll buy it from you. It's more money for the fire department. We'll buy it from you. But anyways, moving on to the actual hunt itself. One of the things about Scareview that is so very cool is the environment. They do an awesome job with the environment. And really, honestly, the environment is done for them before you ever walk into the house. The actual schoolhouse itself has a very foreboding look. There's still a lot of fire marks on it. There's still a lot of fire damage on the exterior of the building. The building itself is fairly large. Not by any stretch the largest haunted attraction we've ever been to or the largest complex, but it's not small by any stretch, and it kind of looms over you as you're waiting in line. And speaking of the line and how that all works, the interaction while you're waiting in line, once you get past the ticket booth, there's no interaction before the ticket booth. You're just not going to get it. But once you get past the ticket booth and you're inside the actual complex, the number of actors that they have out there is great, especially for a smaller haunt. And this is definitely a smaller haunt. This isn't on the level of a Dent, Schoolhouse, or anything like that. If that's what you're expecting, that's not what you're going to get. But what they do better than other haunts that I've been to, USS Nightmare, Scarehouse, haunts we're going to talk about later, is the interaction in the line. It is on point. They do an awesome job with it. And as you go through that and you're waiting in line, you can see, again, talking about the building and how foreboding the building is, the entrance to the complex begins to come into view. And you can hear the screams from inside, which is cool. There's several houses that you go to that they're almost soundproof, and you don't really hear what's going on inside. But here it's not. It's very, very clear almost immediately that there is some stuff going on inside. Some stuff maybe you're not going to like. Maybe you're not ready for. But awesome layout. Awesome way that the line sets up. Awesome way that they bring you into it. And then when you get up to the front, finally, after waiting for so long, because you guys don't offer fast passes. Do it. Next year. Want to see it. But when you finally get up there, you're separated off into two tents. You don't really know which tent's going to go first. And you kind of almost for a second think that you're safe from the interactions with the actors because you can see them off in the distance. You're like, I'm good. I have a moment to breathe. You don't. They're going to jump up in the middle of your group and scare the bejesus out of you again. So again, the interaction before you walk in is very, very on point, very well done, Scareview. Please keep that up. Don't get away from it. It's awesome. It's one of the best things. It makes your 3-hour lines seem like they're not 3-hour lines. So again, keep that up. Keep doing that. We'd like to see that. We'd like to see more of it. And a quick shout out to whoever the Jigsaw actor was. Real tall guy. Walking around dressed as the Jigsaw character and had a chainsaw walking around with him. Well, anyways, this little girl, 6 or 7 years old, absolutely loses her mind. We see her go running down the aisle, running away from all of it. And this guy stopped everything he was doing. I don't know if maybe he was one of the top guys there or just an actor that saw what was happening and realized the situation in front of him. He takes his mask off. He takes his costume off. He goes over and he kneels down and he talks to this little girl and he calms this little girl down. And he lets her touch his mask and he lets her touch his chainsaw and he lets her touch her costume. And he calms her down and then takes her and her mother through the haunt himself and made sure that there were no scares involved or anything like that so that she could go through and see that this stuff is nothing more than a movie. It's nothing more than going through any other type of attraction like that. Brought her down to a good, calm level in which she was able to go through that and see that and possibly when a little ways down the line, maybe even next year, have the courage to go through that haunt all by herself, just the way it's intended to be. If not, maybe it's not for her. And if it's not for her, kudos to him still for giving her the opportunity to see that, number one, there is absolutely nothing to be scared of as far as anything actually happening to anybody or anything like that. And to show her that this is just fun. I really, really respect that. And again, Scareview, I hope you watch this. And I hope that that particular guy hears this. Kudos. Absolute kudos. Big round of applause for that. That was handled professionally and with a lot of grace. You did very, very well with that. Now, back to the haunt. Once led into the big doors of the main hallway, and there are two big, massive doors right outside of this elementary school. You're brought inside to the main hallway. There's a set of stairs on each side. And again, the actor interaction before you walk in is so on point. They're going over the rules. They're going over the safety rules. You're hearing people screaming inside. You're hearing the electricity pop and the sound effects and everything else. You're trying to focus on that. You're trying to listen to the lady that's screaming at you about, don't touch the actors, don't do this, don't do anything dumb. If you do anything dumb, we're going to kick you out. Blah, 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 blah. While you have some satanic-looking nun 2 inches from your face just staring at you so closely and so intensely, you can still smell and taste what they had for breakfast that morning. It's a good effect. It's a really good job. And what saddens me about it is, regretfully, this is where it ends. We're not here to bash anybody. We're not here to try to make any of these places look bad or anything like that. But we're here to give honest reviews. And our honest review is, once you enter, the interaction with the actors is over. It's done. It's very, very clear that these actors are volunteers. They're novice in what they're doing. There's not a lot of professionalism. People just standing in corners for no reason. Not even looking foreboding, not even looking scary. Just standing there. Lots of banging on items. Lots of screaming, if you're into banging and screaming. And banging and screaming in and of itself really, really scares you. Then you're going to be really scared. But if it doesn't, like the majority of people, banging and screaming is probably not going to get it done. And regretfully, that's the majority of what they offer. There's absolutely no ad-libbing with the actors. One of the things that I really, really enjoy with these haunts is when you get a good actor. That when you can throw a line at him that he's not always, or he or she's not always expecting, or maybe they don't always hear, and they can follow up with you and they can run with you on that, and it makes it more real, and it makes you lose yourself in that environment for a minute, which is why we're all there. We all want to get away from the real world. We all want to go do something different, have some fun, have an immersive experience that's not our everyday lives. And when you have actors that can't do that, or don't know how to do that, or have never been taught to do that, it absolutely kills the experience. And again, I guess this next part would maybe be a little spoiler. We're not really spoiling anything, I promise. Talking about this, it's kind of the climax of their show. And I say kind of the climax of the show because there's no story involved, so I don't really know where the climax was, or why we were there, or what was supposed to really be happening. Or what the story was at all. Again, there really wasn't one. A lot of these places do a good job with giving you a clear storyline as to what's happening while you're there. Everything else. But getting to the room, the climax, the church. They build up. Going to the church. Satanic church. It sucked. Scareview, I want you to know that. Your church sucked. I was very disappointed. It is essentially a dark room with 2 pews in it. That's it. That's it. You're there. You're in the church. If you turn your living room lights off right now, go find you a couple wooden pews at your old church. Put them in the middle. Get rid of the rest of the furniture. Have a nice lady give you a bottle of water. Welcome to Scareview Satanic Church. You're there. You're living it. And the bottle of water that we're talking about, it was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in a haunted house since I've been going to them. we did have an actress that was, I use the term actress very loosely for this particular person. If you're watching, I'm sorry. This was just our experience. I had a friend or a couple of friends that were in our group, and regretfully, that was her only focus or care for anything that was going on. And it wasn't even focus or care in trying to scare them as much as it seemed like she just wanted to hang out with them. So we get to the church, and he says he's thirsty, and I shit you not, she pulls out a bottle of water from a box and gives him a bottle of Nestle Pure Life water. I was kind of floored at that moment, and I just looked at her and I said, well, this is the friendliest satanic church I've ever been a part of. Trying to offer her a moment of ad-lib, trying to give her something to reach out for. And she just stared at me and offered a baffling comment that I still can't figure it out. Her response, her rebuttal, I guess, was, it's fun and friendly if you get to decide who lives and dies. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't get it. I don't follow. I don't like it. It wasn't impressive. It certainly wasn't scary. A lot of work. A lot of work for the actors. I would tell you about a memorable moment or a memorable actress or actor that made this event for us. Regretfully, it's not there. It's just not. They did such a great job with the build-up and the location and what this building looks like for it just to be such a disappointment inside. And regretfully, that's what it was inside. So again, we don't want to give the haunt away. There are jump scares. There are moments that's going to catch you off guard, moments of surprise. Somebody jumps out of a dark corner. Somebody's trying, not just standing there for no reason, leaning in a corner. Again, for no reason. I just walked by you. My back's to you. Be a real good opportunity for a jump scare. Nothing! Mind-boggling. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But, anyways, moving forward. You come out of the haunt. Again, it's a real good opportunity. Selling some stuff. Scareview shot glasses. Scareview hoodies. Pictures taking with some of your actors and actresses while you're in that line. It's an awesome sales opportunity. We spent $15 at one haunted attraction for a picture. It's crazy, right? $15 for a 5x7 picture. But we spent it. We'll spend it again. Are you listening, Scareview? I hope you are, because you're missing out on some money for your volunteer fire department. Right there. And some money that you can invest into training your actors some, helping them get better. But moving forward, we want to get to the reviews. We haven't really talked about how we're going to be reviewing these places. We're going on a grading scale, real simple, 1 to 10, on 3 different categories. Category 1 is going to be on the actors and the environment. The environment that's provided, the actors, it all kind of blends into one. So that's why that's going to be 1 review point. The second review point will be scare factor. Again, based on 1 to 10. And then based off of those 2 reviews, we'll give a final overall review and a final overall feeling as to how this haunt was and how we felt about it. Now, first off, actors and environment. We are going to go with a 4. A 4 out of 10. And listen, Scareview, you're getting a 4 because of the house, because of the schoolhouse, because of the line and the interaction before you walk in. Please, your actors inside did not score you a single point. They were terrible. They were terrible. I hate saying that word. I don't like that word. Terrible is a terrible word. Don't make me say it again. I don't want to do it again. It's awful. Get people in there that want to do this, that want to be a part of this. This is such an awesome thing for the volunteer fire department and for the city of Saint Albans. And it can be done so much better. There's no other haunts going on in Saint Albans, guys. You're it. Step your game up. Get some people in there that want to do this. And again, the people outside seem to have it going on a little bit. What's happening with the transition? Why are we losing it inside the haunt? I don't understand. I don't understand. And I'm not going to talk about 2016 because it was 2016, but in 2016, you guys had it together. This is your 10-year anniversary. So disappointing. So disappointing. So moving on to the scare factor. This is a family-friendly haunt, number one. And it can be a family-friendly haunt that has a high scare rating. This one's not. There's ways to do that to introduce children and teenagers into this stuff and still scare people and still offer something better than what you're offering right now. Because what you're offering right now is not great. We're not impressed. So, scare factor. It's a 3. It's a 3. The only reason it's not a 2 is because we don't scare easy. And so we're trying to be generous with the scare rating. Giving you a 3. Understand deep down inside my heart, I feel like it's a 2. But we're giving you a 3. I will say this about it. If this is something that you want to do as a family, if you've never done anything like this before, it's a good haunt for that and that alone. If you're an experienced haunted house enthusiast, if you like these things, if you go to these things on a regular basis, don't come here expecting to be wowed by anything, because you're not going to be wowed by anything. There's nothing in here that's impressive. There's nothing in here that you're going to remember, that you're going to take away from it. There's no story. There's nothing to remember. Not even a photo. I can't even get a photo to remember this thing by. Let alone the scares. What scares? There's no scares. There's no scares. There's no scares that scare you. Help me understand. Why are there no scares that scare you? You got scare in your name. Step your game up. Come on. Now, overall rating. They do try for what it is. I understand. Volunteers. I get that. I get that these aren't trained professionals. But it doesn't feel like there's much training at all other than this is your room. Good luck. There needs to be more involved in that. Tell a story. Keep us intrigued. I was walking through your haunted house 2 minutes into it. A little bored, to be honest with you. A little bored. It's got to be better than that, guys. It's got to be better than that. Just a little training, a little not giving up. If I see you in a dark corner as an actor, it doesn't mean I won. It means I saw you. It's okay. I'm going to walk by you. My back's going to be to you. Come get me. Come scare me. That's the moment right there. Right there. And just standing there, man, it's almost insulting that we paid money to come in for that, to watch. If I want to watch people stand, man, I can just, if I want to see creepy people standing in weird locations, I can just go to the town center mall and watch creepy people standing in weird locations all the time. Free of charge. Free of charge. $1.75 for parking. I guess there's that. But you got to step your game up a little bit more than that. So, overall rating, we're going to give it a 3.5. We're not really trying to get into decimals and 3.5s or 4.7s or anything like that. We gave this particular one a 3.5 because it is our first review, number one. Number two, it is good for a family haunt. It really is. If you got timid kids or you yourself are timid, it's okay. It's okay to be scared. It's all right. No one's judging. This is no judgment. No judgment zone. We're not worried about your personality. We're worried about you going to these things and seeing these things and growing. Seeing more of this. This is a great one to start out on. It's a good one to wet your teeth on. Again, it's not great if you are really into these things and you end up waiting 3 hours for it. Man, you are going to be upset. You're not going to go back. It's just not worth it. But there's so many opportunities with the location. There's so many opportunities with the history of the schoolhouse and the stuff that's there that I really, I hope that Scareview sees this. I hope it doesn't just piss them off. That's not the intention. I want to come to your haunt next year. You're local to me. You're very close to me. I don't really necessarily like driving to Cincinnati or Pittsburgh or New Orleans or wherever else we're going to go. I'd like to have solid haunts around me. And you have a great opportunity with your location. You can do so much more with it. And I saw you on 2016. You're better than what you were this year. You're better than that. Be better. Be who you are. Step your shit up, man. Step your shit up. And sell us a hoodie. Sell us a photo. Come on. You got it. There's printing places all over the place. They'll slap scare you on whatever you want. Help us out. Help us out. We'll help you out. Now, that is about it for Scareview. If Scareview is something you are interested in, and again, I'm not trying to bash them. I know it's hard on the actors. I know that actors, actresses, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just being honest. It's what y'all gave us. It's what you came with. Especially that girl with the water. What's wrong with you? Don't give out water. Give out gross stuff. Not water. I care how thirsty he is. Get over it. Still bothers me. Gotta move on. Facebook page for Scareview will be linked to this particular feed. It'll be on our Facebook page for you to be able to view that. Go to their website, see what they have to say. As well, feel free to check them out. Go. It's only $10 if you bring in a canned product. Go buy you some Spam. Go get you $10. Go get scared. Or something. Go see some people standing in a corner maybe. I don't know. Next year they're going to be better than this. I know it. I can feel it. I can sense it already. That's it for Scareview. The next blog review will be on Fallsburg Fearplex. And let me tell you something about Fallsburg Fearplex. I don't want to get into it because obviously that's going to be the next one. I could not be more excited to do Fallsburg Fearplex. I hope they see it. I hope they love our review of them as much as we loved going there and experiencing it. It is an awesome, awesome, awesome haunt. 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different haunts there. 3D stuff. Lights out rooms. An amazing haunted house to begin things with. Junkyards. Awesome, awesome stuff. They did such a great job. I cannot wait to get into Fallsburg. But we're going to move on beyond that. Just throwing it out there, there will be some upcoming blog and reviews. Obviously, we just talked about Fallsburg Fearplex. That's the next one we're doing. We went to the Dent Schoolhouse twice. We're going to talk about both experiences. One was awesome. One was surprisingly different. We also went to the USS Nightmare. We won't be talking about the general admission tour there. We did not take the general admission tour. We took the Rest in Peace experience. So we will be talking specifically about the Rest in Peace experience because we do not know what the general admission tour is. We did not take it. We went on the Rest in Peace experience. We wanted them to get handsy with us, and they did, and it was fun. And then the very last actual haunted house review for this particular season will be Scarehouse. And Scarehouse is actually going to be 2 different reviews. We went for their Lights Out tour. We'll get into that a good bit, do a full review on just their Lights Out tour. And then we're also going to do, as our climax for this year, Scarehouse The Basement. If you're not familiar with what Scarehouse The Basement is, obviously we're going to get into a lot more details with it whenever we do that review. But you got to sign a waiver. You got to be 18 years old. You got to show ID. You got to be cool with being touched. A lot. Weird ways. And make you eat stuff. Stuff maybe you didn't want to eat. A lot of yelling. A lot of being tied down. I had to read a book. It's a weird book. We're going to get into all that. It's an amazing experience at every single one of these. Even Scareview. For a lot of the disappointment that was there was way more disappointment than there was anything else. The interaction with the lines and everything else was memorable, and it was good, and I appreciate it. And again, Jigsaw, if you're out there, kudos to you. You are an exemplary human being. We need more human beings, not like Jigsaw, because he was big into cutting people up. We don't really want that. But you, who you are, and what you did for that little girl, I hope that little girl becomes one of the biggest haunted house enthusiasts ever. And if she does, it started with you. So good job there. For Haunted Honeymooners, my name is JC Russell. That's Trish Russell behind the camera, running this stuff, running me, making sure I don't mess up too awfully much. HauntedHoneymooners@gmail.com. Send your suggestions. Like us. Thank you. We love you. Good night.